Well, the hashtag #HomeToVote has been trending on social media because it turns out that Ireland has created a voting or a possibility to vote on a referendum that would legalize same-sex marriage. Let me give you the details. Today, Ireland is voting in a referendum on whether to bring in marriage equality. If the referendum succeeds, Ireland would become the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage by popular vote. Now, understand that, of course, same-sex marriage is legal in other countries, but usually it's not an entire country that's legalized it. It's either separate states or certain municipalities, as is the case here in the United States. Not every single state has legalized same-sex marriage, even though it's a civil rights issue and the federal government should do something to legalize it. Nonetheless, this is big news for Ireland, and we should know what the results are for this election very soon.
So Ireland has this vote. Turnout is high, over 60% in some big Dublin, Limerick, which is just funny that that's a place. Waterford passed the 60% electorate turnout mark, over 50 in a bunch of other places. And so the polls have closed, and they'll get around to starting the count tomorrow. They're like, okay, the polls closed, seal the boxes, go home. See you guys in the morning.
Go have a pint.
Let's go have a pint. Totally.
Just relax. Everyone relax.
They're going to be here tomorrow. Yeah. We don't need to know. They don't need to know everything right now.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. I could be wrong, but you're of Irish descent,
yeah, I'm Irish.
right?
Sure,
so what do you think about this? Because Ireland has come a very, very long way when it comes to being a little more tolerant of groups that don't agree with Catholic religion.
I think it was the Catholic pedophilia scandal that actually maybe got them turned around a little bit, because it got to the point where even in their parliament or whatever they call their judicial, I'm not up on it, but there was a famous speech recently. It was like in 2010 or 2011. The guy stood up and he talked about all the pedophilia happening right then. And he just talked, I mean, it was crazy. He goes, this isn't from 10 years ago. This is happening right now still. So I think it was, and then I think there was also the bishop who spent all that money on his own bill. So people got a good look at the Catholic Church. I think that's what happened, is that once you start to, they're still Catholic. More people go to church in Ireland than any of the other European countries. They're still very religious, but I think it's losing its grip, and I think that's why you see this.
You know what's also really incredible? The people who no longer live in Ireland are flying back to Ireland in order to vote on this referendum, which is incredible. And a lot of them are saying, look, even though we don't live there now, there will be a point where we're going to want to go back, and we want a better Ireland for our families. And that means being more tolerant of, the LGBT community. So to know that people are willing to spend, in some cases, thousands of dollars to travel back just for this particular issue makes me feel really good. It makes me, gain a little more faith in humanity.
Here's the bad news. There we go. That's a photo of a nun voting today. So, and she's a nun using a walker. So I'm just saying gay marriage right now, behind 1-0. But the rest of the counting, you never know.
You never know.
Just guessing a nun in a walker, probably not a yay vote.
Not a yay.
I know nuns on a bus are very progressive. I know that. Nuns on a bus.